Welcome back. All right, so we got 10 games to review tonight, and we will take a look at the standings and see who's above or below the playoff line as of tonight. Pretty busy night, especially early on. If you hear a noise in the background, I'm letting the air purifier run during this video. It's been a noisy night in the neighborhood anyway, so I figure might as well let some white noise play in the background a little bit. All right, so we'll start things off with New Jersey and Toronto. So this, of course, being a big test for Toronto with their former coach being in town, and it's a big test for Sheldon Keefe as well. It was Allen versus Stolars, and early on, Toronto looks good. 6:36 in. Tavares buries a rebound from the doorstep. Ekman Larson and Nylander with the assists. We have ourselves a 1-0 lead for Toronto, and they would hold that through the first period. So strong first period for Toronto as well as for Stolars. Then we get to the second, and 1:27 in. Jack Hughes from the slot past a screen makes it 1-1. Bratt and Pesce with the assists. So the lead gone for Toronto. There's a goalie interference challenge that fails, so the Devils get the power play, of course, and they score during said power play. At 3 minutes and 20 seconds, Glass puts it in on the power play from Meyer and Luke Hughes. He scores that from the right circle. New Jersey has their first lead of the game at 2-1. Then at 4:54, via a 3-on-1 rush, Dylan, who expected Dylan to be part of a 3-on-1 rush, he puts one in from the slot, Glendening and Gritsjuk with the assists. So the Leafs call a timeout because that's the right thing to do in this situation. 3 goals and a little over 3 minutes. Tells you something's gone wrong. And the Leafs respond. At 7:03, it's a cross-ice pass and into an open net for Michelli. His first goal as a Toronto Maple Leaf player. The assist to Nylander and Tavares. So that makes it 3-2. However, before the period's out, New Jersey would answer. At 16:17, Jack Hughes fires one past Stolars on a fast break. The assist to Bratt and Nemitz. So we have ourselves a 4-2 lead for New Jersey. In the third period, I thought New Jersey played well in that third period from what I saw. Toronto had some opportunities. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. And at 19 minutes and 30 seconds, Jack Hughes gets the hat trick with the empty netter, which makes it 5-2. We then had a fight between Hallinan and Benoit, because why not? It's a 5-2 win for New Jersey. So the 3 stars, Jack Hughes, Tavares, and Bratt. Shots on net, favored New Jersey the whole way. 9-7 in the first, 16-10 in the second, 10-8 in the third. Final shots, 35-25 for the Devils. Power plays, the Devils 1 for 2, Toronto 0 for 2. The hits, 22-21 for Toronto. Allen saves 23 out of 25. Stolars saves 30 out of 34. All right, moving along. The Oilers and the Sens, the battle of 2 Canadian teams that were struggling coming into tonight. Skinner versus Ullmark in this one. It stays scoreless through most of the first period until at 16:31 on a power play, McDavid roofs one on a pass from behind the net for his first goal of the season. Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard with the assist. So I believe that's Bouchard's first point of the season, which is good, needs points, and that makes it 1-0 after 1. Second period, 49 seconds in. Isaac Howard gets one from the slot on a turnover. That's his first National Hockey League goal. Draisaitl with the lone assist the last time I looked. They had McDavid credited with an assist earlier. They took that away. Who knows, they may put that back. Makes it 2-0 for the Oilers, and they have that score, that lead, after 2 periods of play, even though Ottawa had opportunities. So you go to the third period, and Ottawa shows some fight back. 13 seconds in on a power play, which had straddled the second and third periods. Cousins scores on a net drive. Batherson with the assist. So with the power play marker, it's now 2-1. And then Ottawa would tie it at 1:49. Shabbat puts one past a screen from the point. Perron with the assist. We have ourselves a 2-2 tie. And that ends up getting right to the end of the third period. So even though Edmonton had some opportunities, Ullmark with some great saves, we end up going to overtime. The Oilers control early. They end up drawing a power play, and they score on it. It's a 4-on-3. Those are tough. 2:24 in. It's Wallman going top shelf on a face-off win. Oddly enough, right towards, I think, the last second of that power play. Ekholm and Savoy with the assist. So Edmonton goes into Ottawa. They win 3-2 in overtime. 3 stars are Wallman, Howard, and Cousins. Shots on net, 6 apiece in the first, 11-6 Ottawa in the second, 10-4 Edmonton in the third, and they had all 3 shots in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 25-21 for the Oilers. Power plays, the Oilers 2 for 3, Ottawa 1 for 3. Both teams had 20 hits in this game. Skinner, 19 saves on 21 shots. Ullmark, 22 saves on 25 shots. So, yeah, big win for Edmonton. We'll see if they can carry that on. They're at home to Montreal next, whereas Ottawa has to host Philadelphia next. All right, next up, San Jose and the Islanders. This was far more entertaining than it had any right to be. Askarov versus Sorokin, an 8:29 in. San Jose opens the scoring shorthanded. It's Colin Graff from the slot via 2-on-1 rush. Delandria leading that rush. And then there's a delay for glass issue during that same power play, which I think helped the Islanders. They had a chance to talk things over because at 9:26 on the power play, it's a cross-crease pass and in. Horvat scores the power play marker. The assist to Barzal and Schaefer. Schaefer continues this ridiculous point streak he's been on to start his career, and I'm here for it. It's great. It's good to see. Every time I see that, I think of people that before the draft said, well, Schaefer's not going to be that good. He only played 17 games in juniors. These scouts, I don't think they know what they're talking about. Schaefer shouldn't go first overall. Or my favorite was, well, the Islanders don't really need Schaefer. They have Dobson. Okay. Then at 10 minutes and 30 seconds, the Islanders get the lead. It's Cizikas burying one in close. It was Sam Dickinson with a bit of an oof here, and it's only the third shot on net. It's the second goal for the Islanders. San Jose would answer, though. At 14-16, it's a cross-crease pass buried by Adam Gaudette. His second goal of the season, the assist to Misa and Graff. So for Michael Misa, that is his first National Hockey League point. The Islanders score. It's reviewed to see whether or not it went in after the whistle. It's ruled a good goal. Heineman gets this one at 19:28 from Leon Shabanov. So first period's very eventful. It's 3-2 in favor of the Islanders. Second period, less eventful when it comes to goals. At 6:38, Schaefer scores. He buries one from the doorstep. The assist to Duclair and Palmieri, making the score 4-2 in favor of the New York Islanders. So that's your score after two. And in the third, it was kind of a quiet period. The one goal that happens is at 10:16. It's Celebrini with the second of the season. The assist to Orlov and Ferraro makes it 4-3. San Jose would pull the goaltender. They would do everything they could. Couldn't tie it. Your final score in this one is 4-3 for the Islanders. Your three stars are Schaefer, because he had a goal and an assist. Graff and Heineman, the other two stars in the game. Shots on net, 16-8 San Jose in the first, 13-12 San Jose in the second, 7 apiece in the third. They do outshoot the Islanders 36-27, but they remain winless on the season. Power plays, San Jose 0 for 3, the Islanders 2 for 3. The hits, 22-18 in favor of San Jose. Askarov, 23 saves on 27 shots. Sorokin, very good night for him, especially considering the way things started in the first. Things look shaky for both goalies, but Sorokin ends up saving 33 out of 36. So nice recovery there. All right, moving along. Vancouver and Pittsburgh. Lankinen versus Shilovs. And on their first shot, Vancouver scores. At 1:18, it's Garland with a one-timer on the rush. Pettersson, and it is number 40, Pettersson with the assist, and Hronik with the other assist. So the Canucks with the early lead. It doesn't last. At 11:39, Dewar. It's a point shot. It's screened. It's deflected. No chance for Lankinen. Dewar with the goal from Wotherspoon and Achari makes it 1-1. That would be our score after the first. Second period, on a power play late in the period at 14:20, it's Novak. Wires one from the right circle. Letang and Brazo with the assists. With that assist, I believe that's the 600th for Letang. Letang did get his 600th assist. He is one of the few defensemen in NHL history to have 600 assists with one franchise, so good on him, and congratulations to Chris Letang. Then at 16:18, on a turnover, Crosby buries one. Raquel with the assist, so oops. And then at 17:29, on a rush, Mantha buries a rebound. Malkin and Brazo with the assists. So all of a sudden you have a 4-1 lead. What's interesting is this is where there's 9 games on. I'm scrolling between channels, and I saw the Mantha goal, and I put a magnet on the board, and I'm like, wait, 4-1? I thought that would be 3-1. No, they allowed another goal while I was scrolling between channels. So that's 4-1 after 2, and then the third period at 5:56 during a power play, Brazo roofs one from the slot. The assist to Mantha and Letang. Brazo continues to have a remarkable run with Pittsburgh, who win this game 5-1. They don't get the no mercy magnet because they won by 4. 5 is the cutoff for that. Your 3 stars are Brazo, Crosby, and Letang. Shots on net, 11-6 Vancouver in the first, 14-3 Pittsburgh in the second, 10-6 Vancouver in the third. Final shots, 26-24 for the Canucks. Power plays, 0 for 3 for Vancouver, 2 for 5 for Pittsburgh. The hits, 26-18 for Vancouver. Lankinen saves 21 out of 26. Shilovs, 23 saves on 24 shots. So he allows a goal in the first shot, and after that, no. And I thought, maybe the Abbotsford guys would have a way to figure out Shilovs. Nope. Maybe they never had the chance. All right, next up. Seattle and Washington. So Murray versus Thompson. It's scoreless until 8 minutes and 30 seconds in. It's a tic-tac-toe play finished by Dowd. I believe that's his first of the season. The assist to Carlson and Duhaime. And Washington rides that to the end of the first period. One of the tricky things with Washington is if they have a lead on you, they're going to choke off the center of the ice. They're not going to give you prime opportunities. And in the second period, they extend their lead. At 25 seconds, Ryan Leonard buries one from the slot. So it's 2-0. The assist to Protas and Faravari. Then at 1:33 on a power play and off of a face-off win, Chychrun fires one from the right circle. Ovechkin and Strome with the assists. My guess is that they're overplaying Ovechkin, and and I'm saying my guess is because we've seen that during this season. I did see the goal. I did write it down. Just it makes sense for guys to be cheating over towards Ovechkin as he's trying to get to 900 goals, but it seems like he's more concerned with Washington winning than getting those goals. Anyways, that makes it 3-0, and that score stays that way till after the second period. In the third period, at 3 minutes and 50 seconds, Jaden Schwartz, he gets a goal to get Seattle on the board, the assist to Myers. And it stays that way until the goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. Seattle would call a timeout with 1 minute and 23 seconds left, and then Washington takes all tension out of the game. Wilson hits the empty net from Dowd and Protas at 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Makes your final score 4-1. Washington with a big victory, and Seattle loses on back-to-back nights. 3 stars are Chychrun, Leonard, and Thompson. Shots on net, 11-6 Washington in the first, 16-3 Washington in the second, and 10-7 Seattle in the third. Final shots, 34-19. Power plays, 0-2 for Seattle, 1-2 for Washington. The hits, 18-13 for Washington. Murray, 30 saves on 33 shots. Thompson saves 18 out of 19. And this is the only time that Seattle is in Washington, so it's the only time we get a Seattle-Washington game. It's too bad. Then we get Washington-Seattle, but it's not the same. It just sounds backwards. All right, next up. The Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. Bobrovsky versus Swayman, but the big storyline here was the return of Brad Marchand. So on the power play at 1:01, so early in the game, Florida gets on the board. Samoskevich buries a loose puck in the crease. Marchand and Lundell with the assist. So Marchand welcomes himself back to Boston with an assist on a goal 1 minute and 1 second in. Then they had a tribute video for Marchand, and you could see him tearing up. One thing that I do appreciate about Marchand, he doesn't hide his emotions. He isn't all stoic all the time. I know that there are people who still don't like Brad Marchand, but just his personality is... He's one of a kind. So he can be teary-eyed on the bench all he wants. He's got 2 Stanley Cup rings. He's going to go to a Hall of Fame. And it was fun to see him back in Boston. Gadjevich had a fight against VL. So that happened. It's 1-0 Florida after 1. Second period. 2:01, so another early goal, and it's AJ Greer. Gadjevich wins the faceoff, pushes the puck forward, and Greer ends up roofing it right after that. Yeah, Boston kind of half wins the faceoff, sort of, but not really. It looked like a set play. Gadjevich to Greer makes it 2-0, and that was your score after 2. Third period, Boston shows some fight. 2:46 in, it's Pavel Zacha. He scores from Mittelstadt and Arvidsson, and then at 4:46, exactly 2 minutes later, and this one on the power play, Elias Lindholm tips one from the slot. Pasternak with the assist. We have ourselves a 2-2 tie. Everything gets punchy at 5:44 because these teams don't like each other. It doesn't matter if Marchand's been on both sides. He's on the other side now, so he's the enemy. Then at 9:48, Luostarinen goes bar down on a rush to give Florida the lead back. The assist to Marchand and Ekblad. So Marchand continues to put up points against Boston. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. They call a timeout with 1:36 left, and whatever they discuss works. Boston ties the game. Geeky taps one in from the crease. Mittelstadt and Pasternak with the assists at 18:29. It looks like we're going to overtime. However, at 19:35, Verhaeghe scores. It goes off Peake's foot, and then there was a delay for the clock. The clock showed 3 minutes left. They ended up not having a clock at the end of the game, so I guess it's at 19:35. The assist to Bennett and Forsling. So Florida ends up winning this one 4-3. And for Boston, it's frustrating because that puts them 2 games below 500 early in the season. 3 stars are Marchand, Verhaeghe, and Mittelstadt. Shots on net, 7-6 Florida in the first, 13-9 Boston in the second, 12-7 Boston in the third. Final shots, 31-23 in favor of the Bruins. Power plays, Florida 1 for 3, Boston 1 for 5. The hits, 26-23 for Florida. Bobrovsky saves 28 out of 31, and Swayman saves 19 out of 23. So rough night statistically for Swayman, but Florida has a way of hurting other goaltenders' save percentages. The weird part being Bennett, Reinhart, not much for them. So Florida's got themselves at 500, even though they're not getting points from their top producers, which should scare everybody, because at some point they're going to get things going. Speaking of going, we're going to board number 2. All right, 4 more games to go. So the LA Kings and the St. Louis Blues. Darcy Kemper in net tonight for LA, so that was a welcome change for the Kings. Bennington at the other end. They had a nice tribute for John Kelly. This was a night for tribute. So John Kelly is now employed by the LA Kings to do their play-by-play. He was employed by St. Louis for a long time as their play-by-play announcer. I still don't like the move by FanDuel. I've seen the comments of, well, it's just their radio guy gets bumped up to TV, but it's just... I don't know. It's one of those things that reminds me why I never got into broadcasting coming out of high school, because everybody I knew that worked in broadcasting said, just don't. It's a dying occupation. So then I was kind of left rudderless, and now here I am. So Bennington's the reason this is scoreless after the first period, and we go to the second period. 147 in, Laferriere scores from Kempe, so it's not scoreless for much longer into the second. And then Malott had a fight with Tucker. So it's 1-0 LA after 2. Third period, early in the third at 2:18 on the power play, Falk wires one from the slot. Beautiful goal by Falk. The assist to Thomas and Kyrou. So those are the assists that St. Louis Blues fans want to hear more often, are Thomas and Kyrou with the helpers. So that's your score after 3. We had no more goals the rest of the way until overtime. Blues control early. The Kings get a power play. Blues called a timeout before the power play, and that seemed to help the Kings. At 1:50 on a cross-ice pass, it's a one-timer by Kempe. He scores from Kuzmenko and Fiala. The Kings go in and steal one in St. Louis 2-1. The chess magnets on the board because 3 goals or less. Your 3 stars are Kemper, and Bennington. Shots on net, 10-5 LA in the first, 9-3 LA in the second, 10-7 St. Louis in the third. LA had both shots in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 28-18 for the Kings. Power plays, both teams go 1 for 3. The hits, 20-13 for St. Louis. Kemper saves 17 out of 18. Bennington saves 26 out of 28. Both goaltenders very, very good in this game. All right, next up, Anaheim and Nashville. Dostal versus Saros. It's scoreless until 8:52. Ross Johnston, where did he come from tonight? He buries a rebound from the side of the net. Gudas and Minchukov with the assists. I don't think those 3 have ever combined on a goal. But Nashville would answer at 14:29. Jost tips one in front. Stastny and Barron with the assists. So it's 1-1 after the first period. Second period, Anaheim gets their lead back. At 4:23, Carlson buries a rebound in close. The assist to Trouba and Gauthier. So those are 2 rebound goals for Anaheim. But Nashville answers again. At 6:39, it's a net feed tipped in by Forsberg. The assist to Yossi and O'Reilly. So we have a 2-2 draw until 15:07 into the period when Gauthier would get a goal from Trouba. He goes short side on a 2-on-1 rush. Anaheim has their third lead of the game, and they don't want to lose it. So at 16:59, they get another goal to extend their lead to 2 goals. Seneca, it was a nice forecheck by Anaheim. It's a cross-ice pass. Seneca buries it. McTavish and Johnston with the assist. So there's Ross Johnston with a goal and an assist in this game, and it's 4-2 Anaheim after 2. Now, what I was really interested in for this third period, and when the third period started for these games, all the other early games were done, so I could spend more time paying more attention to these games. I wanted to see how Anaheim would protect a lead in the third period, especially on the road. And they did the right thing. At 11:40, they extend the lead. It's a turnover forced by Anaheim, and Terry scores from Paling and Johnston. There's Johnston again, 3 points on the night. Then Johnston had a fight with McCarron. My guess is he goes to McCarron and goes, look, I got a goal and 2 assists. I need a Gordie Howe hat trick. You want to drop the gloves. So Gordie Howe hat trick for Ross Johnston tonight. Then we had a fight between Vetrano and Weisblad. My guess is Vetrano's probably frustrated with his lack of production. Weisblad probably frustrated that they were losing 5-2, and it's a 5-2 win for Anaheim in Nashville. I think this is the most impressive win by Anaheim this season. 3 stars, Johnston, Gauthier, and Jost. Shots on net, 13-11 Anaheim in the first, 15-13 Nashville in the second, 7-2 Anaheim in the third. I can't remember the last time Anaheim only allowed 2 shots in the third period. Power plays, or the overall shots were 33-28 Anaheim. Now, power plays 0 for 5 for Anaheim, 0 for 1 for Nashville. The hits 23-16 for Anaheim. Dostal saves 26 out of 28. Very good night for him. Saros 28 saves on 33 shots. And so, yeah, Anaheim, the Pacific Division definitely looks weaker. So, Anaheim, with Joel Quenneville behind the bench, might be a team to keep an eye on as we get into the meat of the season here. All right, next up, Columbus and Dallas. All right, so Merzlikins versus Ottinger and 4:33 in. Columbus opens the scoring. Fantilli puts one in from the right circle on a failed clear by Dallas. Jenner and Johnson with the assists. And then late in the period at 18:42, Jenner scores on the power play, goes in off of his skate. They didn't challenge it, which is good because he didn't kick it in. Coyle and Severson with the assists. Columbus, shockingly, a 2-0 lead after one in Dallas. Second period at 11:58, Sagan gets the only goal of the period. Tyler Sagan with the goal from Blackwood and Ernie. And that's Ernie's first point of the season and also his first point as a Dallas Star. So that makes it 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Does Dallas have hope? Well, third period, 7:21 in. Beautiful goal by Matejchuk. He buries it from the slot. The assist to Chinikov and Aston Reese. So Columbus has a 3-1 lead. They get a power play. They score on it. It's Voronkov from Monahan and Marchenko at 14:26. So 4-1 lead. So with the 3-goal lead, Dallas pulls the goaltender with about 5 minutes left. They call a timeout with 3:27 left. And at 17 minutes, Kent Johnson hits the empty net. Fantilli with the assist makes it 5-1. That's your final score. Columbus goes into Dallas tonight and wins 5-1. 3 stars are Merzlikins, Jenner, and Sagan. So they must have been picked by Dallas announcers because I don't think a Dallas Star belonged in the top 3 stars here. Shots on net 14-5 Columbus in the first, 13-6 Dallas in the second, 9-5 Columbus in the third. Final shots 29-23 for the Blue Jackets. Power plays Columbus 2 for 2, Dallas 0 for 2. So that's a big part of the story. Hits 35-22 for Columbus. So they outshot them, they outhit them, they played better than them on special teams. Really complete game by Columbus. Merzlikins 22 saves on 23 shots. He's kind of having a redemption season. And Ottinger 24 saves on 28 shots. All right. And last game of the night, Colorado and Utah. Now, I've talked about the doubleheaders. And this was Wedgwood and Vejmelka. Now, it's an ESPN doubleheader. They did not do a post-game of the early game of Florida-Boston. I was very surprised because TNT always does the post game. It can go 10 to 15 minutes, and it will overlap the puck drop for the late game when they do the doubleheader. It drives me kind of crazy because since TNT owns those rights, I don't have access to the start of that game, and sometimes stuff happens at the start of a game. So I was pleasantly surprised when the Boston-Florida game ends, and they just go directly to the puck drop between Colorado and Utah. It was like, I missed maybe the first 5 or 10 seconds of the game. Perfect. So I just wanted to point that out, that this was done really well, and that's how it should be. It's October. We don't need a 20-minute post-game. We don't need to interview a bunch of players. If you want to do that and put it on the internet, do it. Post the interview to your X account and to your website. But hockey fans are going to want to watch the next game rather than the interviews after a game that's, the 5th or 6th of the season for some of these teams. All right, so 5:29 in, Colorado opens the scoring. McCarr goes past a screen from the point. Kelly and Bardakov with the assist. That's Bardakov's first NHL point. That's the only goal of the first period. It is 1-0 Colorado. Second period, the Avs score, but they challenge it for offside, and sure enough, it's no goal for Landeskog. So that's the sad part, is Landeskog got the goal. I was excited to see him get his first goal in years in a regular season game, and it came off the board. Utah then scores. It's waved off for goalie interference. So both teams had a goal wiped out early in the period. Then at 9:17 on the power play, Utah scores a goal that did not come off the board. Schmaltz buries a rebound from the doorstep. Keller and Sergachev with the assists. Schmaltz has been red hot for weeks now. Then at 12:30, Lawson Krause with his first goal of the season. The assist to Stenlin and Carconi. It's a cross-ice pass and it's roofed by Krause. Krause is too talented to be struggling to get goals. So it's 2-1 Utah, and that's your score after 2 periods of play. Third period, 1 minute and 10 seconds in, it's a cross-ice pass. It's in. It's Drury from Colton. Colorado is so dangerous when they're behind in a game. They and Vegas are the two teams that I think are the most dangerous when you have a lead against them. Then at 5:20, it's Sergachev with his first goal of the season. It's unassisted. Good forechecking by Utah. He just roofs it, and it deflects in too. So Sergachev with a goal, and that gives Utah the lead back. Then as they're pulling the goaltender, they being Colorado, NJ scores unassisted as well at 17:44. He goes short side on a rush while the goaltender's going to the bench, and that ties the game at 3. So big goal there by NJ. We're going to overtime. The Avs control early. They don't get to the net. They turn it over. Utah rushes the other way, and they score. At 33 seconds, it's Gunther burying a net feed on a rush. The assist to Keller and Sergachev. So Utah with a huge 4-3 overtime win over Colorado. Considering that game in Colorado early in the season, they could have won that one too. They just didn't get the goals necessary. They played very well in Denver is what I'm trying to say. Utah's off to a really strong start. So your 3 stars are Gunther, Sergachev, and Vejmelka. Shots on net, 13-10 Colorado in the first, 15-7 Utah in the second, 13-7 Colorado in the third, and Utah had the one shot in the overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots are 33 apiece. Power plays 0 for 1 for Colorado, 1 for 2 for Utah, so not a lot of penalties called in this. The hits, 28-20 for Utah. Wedgwood saves 29 out of 33. Vejmelka saves 30 out of 33. Very close between these two teams. Now, let's look at the standings. All right, so as promised, it is now playoffs, not in playoffs, playoffs, not in playoffs. Let's take a look. Colorado's first, and they've got Thor's hammer because they're first overall, 5-0-2 for 12 points. Same number of points as Vegas, but they have one more regulation win. Winnipeg second at 5-1, so 10 points in 6 games. Utah 5-2, 10 points in 7 games. So don't look now, but Utah looks really strong. Then we get to the Pacific. First place in the Pacific is Vegas. Again, 5-0-2, 12 points in 7 games. The Canucks are still second at 4-3, 8 points in 7 games. Then Seattle, still 3-2-2, 8 points in 7 games. That's your 2-3 matchup, although there are some teams on this side that could jump in here. Your wild cards, Chicago at 3-2-2 with 8 points in 7 games. And St. Louis, 3-2-1, 7 points in 6 games. Just below the playoff line is Anaheim, who have the exact same record as St. Louis. The Oilers 3-3-1, Minnesota 3-3-1, Dallas 3-3. So Dallas on the outside looking in at the playoffs. Nashville 2-3-2 with the loss tonight. LA also 2-3-2. San Jose another loss, 0-4-2 for San Jose. This is getting to be kind of a sad tradition that San Jose is always the last team to get a win. Calgary 1-6 on the season, and San Jose's next game is in New York against the Rangers. The game, somebody's got to win that, so I figure scoreless going to a shootout. But yeah, Calgary bringing up the bottom there at 1-6. I did the video on them earlier today. I was nice. I was nice about it. Then we go to the East. The Atlantic is still led by Detroit, 5-1, 10 points in 6 games. The Montreal Canadiens 5-2, 10 points in 7 games. With a 4-4 record, 8 points in 8 games, Florida is actually still third in the division. In the Metro, New Jersey is the leader, 5-1, 10 points in 6 games. Carolina 5-1 as well, 10 points in 6 games. And Pittsburgh, a surprising third at 5-2, just ahead of Washington, who are the number 1 wild card, also 5-2, and Philadelphia 3-2-1. Both wild cards are from the Metro. Just like we said, right? The Metro is going to be stronger than the Atlantic. Hands up. I don't think anybody did feel that way. And I'm not saying it's necessarily the case. Just right now, the Metro has 5 teams in the playoffs. The Atlantic has 3. Toronto at 3-3-1 is below the playoff line, which is weird. The Rangers 3-4-1, also below the playoff line. Columbus and the Islanders both even the record at 3-3, so they're right there. Boston drops to 3-5, and they won their first 3 games of the season, so this has got to be getting frustrating for them, and their next game is at home against Anaheim. The Ottawa Senators 2-4-1, frustrated they didn't get the 2 points tonight, I would imagine. Buffalo 2-4, and Tampa 1-3-2, still bringing up the rear in the East, which is a huge surprise, with 4 points in 6 games. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. And again, this is the Thanos glove, meaning if you're above it, you're good. If you're below it, the snap took you out. All right, thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. The channel passed 364,000 subscribers over the last 24 hours. That's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I am humbled by it, and I will talk to you again soon.